Now, I would request Chairman to unmute and proceed with further proceedings. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I have much pleasure in welcoming you to all to this 33rd Annual General Meeting of your company, being held through video conferencing and other audio-visual means. May I take this opportunity to introduce you to my colleagues. Mr. S.C. Tripathi, IAS Independent Director, who is also the Chairman of the Audit Committee. Mr. Shunichiro Nishimura, nominee of Sumitomo Wiring Systems Limited. Mr. Arjun Puri, Independent Director. Mr. Gautam Mukherjee, Independent Director, who is also the Chairman of the Nomination and Remuneration Committee of the Stakeholders Relationship Committee. Mrs. Geeta Mathur, Independent Director. Mr. Naveen Gansu, Independent Director. Mr. Lakshwaman Sehgal, Vice Chairman. Mr. Takeshi Fujimi, nominee of Sumitomo Wiring Systems Limited. Mr. Pankaj Mittal, whole-time Director and COO. Mr. G.N. Gauba, Chief Financial Officer. Mr. Pankaj Chadda, Partner and representing the statutory auditors, Mrs. S.R. Bartley Boy and Company, LLP. Mr. Rajiv Sawhney, Partner of Mrs. S.R. Bartley Boy and Company, LLP. Mr. Sanjay Mehta, Head Chairman's Office, South Asia. Mr. Vivek Awasthi, Senior Vice President, Business Development. Mr. Amit Bhakri, COO, Polymer Division. Mr. Rajat Jain, Global Head, Mirror Business. Mr. Sanjeev Bhatia, COO, Wire Division. Mr. Sunil Vijay, COO, Elastomer Division. Mr. C.V. Raghu, the Group General Counsel, and Mr. Alok Goyal is the Company Secretary. With the permission of the members present, I take the notice of the annual general meeting and the director's report of the company for the year ended March 31st, 2020 as read. The auditor's report dated June 2nd, 2020, circulated to you, is free from any qualification, observations, or comments on financial transactions or matter which would have an adverse effect on the functioning of the company. Hence, with your permission, I take the auditor's report as read. Further, the secretarial audit report dated June 2nd, 2020, circulated to you, is free from any qualification, observation, or comments. I now come to my speech. Dear shareholders, I hope that all of you and your families are safe and well during this situation that's affecting the whole world. These are testing times, but I believe with our resilience, together we will all come out of it much stronger. Your company showed a strong performance in financial year 1920. Consolidated sales ended at INR 674 billion rupees. We have received new orders worth euro 5.5 billion for SMRP BV during the financial year 2019 and 20. We have generated the highest ever cash flows and our debt levels are at the lowest level since 2017. Without exceptions, our teams have exceeded themselves and have delivered outstanding results. When we look back at our journey, together we created a compounded annual growth rate of 35% over the last 27 years since our listing in 1993. An investor who invested in the IPO in 1993 has earned a compounded annual return of 32% every year on year for 27 years. Thanks to the trust of our customers, we have become the world's 22nd largest automotive OEM supplier. Thanks to the support of our customers, our revenues from 2015 to 2020 have almost doubled, and we have made the largest capital expenditure investments in the history of Motherson over this period. We have expanded into 16 new countries, added more than 120 new facilities, and built a record 41 new plants and plant extensions. Many of these locations were added to support the programs of our customer around the world. Most of our major greenfield investments were completed in this period. We acquired 3 companies, including PKC, SMRC, and successfully integrated them into the Motherson DNA. We have also laid the foundations of expansion outside of the automotive industry in the past 5 years with entries into aerospace, logistics, and health and medical segments. The industry slowed down in the last year and COVID-19 pandemic, which created adverse conditions. We sincerely appreciate the understanding of our stakeholders for viewing the performance in this perspective. We are breathing with the market and have been strengthening our operations. Most of our plants have now resumed production and countries are on the way to recovery. Our teams are doing extremely well in enhancing performance, bringing it back to pre-COVID levels and beyond. We are confident that Motherson Sumi Systems will emerge stronger from this crisis. We entered the pandemic with a robust balance sheet. Our current cash position is strong. We finalized a Motherson-wide capital efficiency plan called Project Victory. This has resulted in a range of savings and improvements. strengthening of our rows, and liquidity. In addition, we have consolidated drawable commitments to enhance liquidity. To further amplify the liquidity, we quickly responded to raise more funds through issue of NCDs, which enjoyed overwhelming investor demand. Globally, we are proactively working with various governments and their support schemes. In addition, we completed a strong capital investment program before the pandemic hit the world. Many of the fruits of these capital investments will fall into our future results, giving us a solid start to our next 5-year plan for 2025. I want to express our deep gratitude to our customers, employees, partners, local communities, and regulatory authorities in various countries, and above all, to you, our investors, for your continued trust, support, and encouragement. Thank you. Now, a few members have registered themselves as a speaker for asking questions. We shall hear all the queries first, after which we will provide responses to the queries. I now request the moderator to play the audio-video received from the members.
Thank you, sir. We have received a few queries, so I'll place those queries on the screen, sir. Thank you. So there are 5 queries what we have received, sir. So next I will play the audio. We have received it from one of the speakers. So we'll play that audio as well, sir.
I am Mrs. Prakashini Shenoy from Bombay. Respected Honorable Chairman, other dignitaries on the board, and my fellow shareholders, good afternoon to all of you. I received the soft copy of annual report well in time through email, which is colorful, transparent, and contains all the information as per the corporate governance. I thank the company secretary and her team for the same. A fortnight back, she had telephoned to me asking me whether I got the link or otherwise. Even this morning, she had telephoned and asked me. It is because of them I am in a position to speak today. This is the first time I am attending the company meeting through video conferencing due to COVID-19. We are living in a days where everything is unpredictable lives, including our existence. In such a circumstances, running a company like Motherson Sumi Systems Limited is not a small thing. I appreciate, sir. Sir, I have a few questions to ask. What is the effect of COVID-19 on a company and what are its challenges? What are the learnings from the lockdown and how is the company implementing these learnings? Are we planning to have a new R&D or expanding the existing R&D? If yes, what shall be the approximate cost of it? Is there any change on a company after the introduction of new budget in the parliament? Do we come under the purview of GST? If yes, what is the rate? I wish the company good luck for a bright future and pray God that the profit of the company shall reach the peak in due course. Sir, I support all the resolutions proposed in today's meeting. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. With this, we have completed the Q&A session. I'm handing over the stage back to you. Thank you.
The members may kindly note that as per AGM notice, the following items are placed for voting. Item number 1, adoption of standalone and consolidated financial statements for the year ended March 31st, 2020 as an ordinary resolution. Item number 2 is the reappointment of Mr. Lakshwaman Sehgal, who retires by rotation, being eligible, seek reappointment as an ordinary resolution. Item number 3 is the reappointment of Mr. Shunichiro Nishimura, who retires by rotation, being eligible, seeks reappointment as an ordinary resolution. Item number 4 is for the reappointment of Mr. Naveen Gansu as an independent director of the company as a special resolution. Item number 5 is to approve the remuneration of the cost auditor for the financial year 2021 as an ordinary resolution. Now I request all members who have not voted through remote e-voting to cast their votes through InstaPoll. The facility for InstaPoll shall be available for 15 minutes. The results declared after consolidating both remote e-voting and poll results along with the scrutinizers' reports will be made available within 48 hours of the AGM on the website of the company and KF FinTech. I authorize the company secretary to declare voting results. Over to you, Alok.
Thank you, sir. Sir, also for the queries being raised by the shareholders, we need to kind of give a response. So I request Mr. Gaba to initiate the response for the financial queries, and then Chairman sir can reply for the queries raised by shareholders on the business. Thank you, sir. Mr. Gaba, you can please start.
Thank you, Chairman and Company Secretary. I would first take the questions relating to the financials raised in the queries we just noticed. There is a question on servicing of debts or a financing arrangement. First of all, let me say with confidence that your company is financially very strong and we do not foresee any problem in servicing of the debt. In fact, as on 31st March 2020, as you would have seen from the annual report as well as Chairman's speech, we reported lowest level of debts in the last 11 quarters. As a company, we have been very prudent in our debt policy as well as we have been maintaining low leverage. We have also used this time to borrow at much lower cost and prepay loans to reduce our overall debt cost. In fact, as we speak, we are prepaying in this month debt bonds of US dollar 375 million. Total US dollar bonds are 400 million, which otherwise are due in December 21. So we are actually prepaying by 1 year and a quarter before the scheduled date of repayment. The second question is there any impact on the new budget provisions? We are an OEM supplier. The latest budget does not have any significant impact on our business. One of the questions also raised, which we also heard on an audio clipping, is GST rate. We are 100% OEM supplier, so whatever GST is paid is available as an input credit to our OEMs, and the rate generally is 18%. These were the queries relating to financials. I would hand over back to Chairman.
Okay, since the questions have come in, I'll make a brief response to all of them. We have consolidated all the questions and answering generally so that everybody request for answers is sorted out. There were a few questions on the learning from lockdown and COVID related. So huge learnings from the lockdown. It has never happened in our lifetime that the world came to a standstill for such a period. As you know, we have large operations in China and Korea where the lockdown happened first, somewhere around Jan end, February beginning. You can see the impact of the same on our results for Q4. That gave an opportunity to know and learn from our operations in China how to prepare ourselves for reopening of the plants in a new environment. We prepared SOPs, how people will come to plants, how will social distancing be maintained, re-layout wherever required, usage of masks, etc. The details of the company secretary CSR projects are given in the annual report on pages 117 to 119. The company main activities on CSR on creating employment opportunities for young people by skill development and vocation based on education, waste management, environment sustainability, and other key areas as detailed in the annual report. On the e-mobility, I am pleased to inform that the company's current product profile is agnostic to the powertrain, which means that these products are required in a vehicle irrespective of whether it is a petrol engine, diesel engine, or electric engine, or even hydrogen fuel or whatever. Some of these products get richer in content, means the value goes up if it is an electric vehicle by choice, depending upon the OEM and the ultimate customer of the OEM preference. Cost of the annual report. Cost of annual report could vary from year to year depending upon number of shareholders and number of pages in the annual report. We feel it is very important to share as much as information with the shareholder through the annual report. That is why you will find our annual reports to be very thick, as well as give detailed information in a transparent manner. At the same time, we are very thankful to our shareholders for accepting the soft copy to help the environment remain greener. The fifth question which we had got was about the attrition rate. I'm pleased to inform that the attrition rates of our employees is very, very low compared to other companies. It would be difficult to put percentage since we are present in 41 countries, but I can say that we have one of the lowest attrition rates in the industry. Company's capex plan and present capacity utilization levels. Our capex plan for financial year 2021 is approximately 2,000 crores, excluding any acquisition which may happen. Our capacity utilization across 270 facilities across the world could vary. I am pleased to inform that more than 84% of our facilities were working at more than 50% capacity as of 24th of July, as reported along with our results for June 20th quarter, for June 20 quarter, and since the same has improved in each region. Our R&D efforts was the last question that was asked. Our R&D efforts were very focused on project by project and work closely with the customers. Since we make more than 2,000 plus products, very difficult to give details of each product per se. But we also work very closely with some of the universities and the educational such institutions for newer innovations. As certain products of the company fall under essential commodities category, whether the company is able to continue its production and operation activities with effect from March 31st. We are an OEM supplier meeting customers' demand during April, May 2020. Our operations in China, Korea, Japan were working since they were come out of the lockdown. Further, in many parts of the world where we have been supplying to certain essential vehicles, our plants were working. In fact, we were supporting our customer Maruti Suzuki, who was asked by the government to support in assembly of ventilators during this period. Since June 20th, the plants have been gradually ramping up. The financial questions have already been answered by Mr. Gauba. There was also some question about the impact of the new budget. The latest budget does not have any significant impact on our business. The GST rate, being a OEM supplier, the GST is passed through. Generally, the rate is 18%. With this, we come to the close of the questions. I hope we have answered all of them.
Thank you, sir. Sir, for the meeting, the quorum was also present and the statutory registers been placed on the website of CABE for the inspection by the members. Now, the company has also made arrangement for scrutinizer. Mr. D.P. Gupta, practicing company secretary, been appointed as a scrutinizer for the meeting, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so I can close the meeting then. Ladies and gentlemen, the business of this 33rd annual general meeting being over, I declare this meeting to be concluded after the completion of Insta poll facility for 15 minutes. Thank you very much, and please stay safe and healthy till we meet again.
Thank you, sir. On behalf of the members of the company, I am thankful to Mr. V.C. Sehgal, Chairman of the company, for conducting the proceedings of AGM. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.